All right, we're back here at Bike Talk. It is August 22nd, Saturday. Great to have you listening. We've got a new caller on the phone here, Reed Kempton, from City of Scottsdale. He's with the Department of Transportation, the Trails and Bikeways Sidewalks program. We're going to bring him on right now. Good morning, Reed. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
It's good to have you with us today.
Sure.
I was wondering if you could explain a little bit about what you do with the Department of Transportation in Scottsdale.
I manage the Trails, Bikeways, and Sidewalks program. Basically, I'm responsible for making sure that through all of our construction projects and design projects that we're integrating bicycle lanes on our streets. We're building new paths. We also build unpaved trails. Terminology, we basically call our paths our paved facilities, and our trails are unpaved. And the Transportation Department is responsible for all of our unpaved trails outside of our preserve. We have another group that works just on the preserve trails.
So what's happening with cycling in Scottsdale?
Well, basically, we're trying to build more facilities, make it easier for people to get around, complete some of the gaps that have been in place. We've been pretty aggressive in the past, especially in the past 5 years since I've been there, about adding bike lanes. We require bike lanes in all of our construction projects on our arterial and collector streets.
That's pretty awesome. That's actually a really big thing that you're requiring bike lanes on all of your new collector streets.
Oh, it is. And since we're rebuilding a lot of our streets, that's how we're getting bike lanes. Plus, we're also restriping the streets. Every time we do a maintenance treatment where we're actually removing the lines, we're going out and measuring all of those streets, and we're reducing travel lane width in some cases and making room for the bike lanes.
Couple questions here for you, Reed. Where
Sure.
is Scottsdale?
Scottsdale is located in the metropolitan Phoenix area.
Right.
We're on the east side of Phoenix. We're a long, if you look at the map, we're a long, skinny city. We're in some places only 2 miles wide, in other places about 8 miles wide, and we're a little over 30 miles north to south.
How many people live in Scottsdale?
About 230,000.
Okay. And do you guys have any real estimate on how many cyclists that you have riding through there?
You know, we don't do any actual counts. We have a trip reduction program through the county that every employer with more than 50 employees has to report to, and we estimate that we're in that 2 to 4% range.
That's pretty good. But we'd always love to see it be higher, so I think it's great that you guys are working with the city to actually get things changed there in Scottsdale.
Well, I am with the city.
Yeah, and well, that's even better. How many people do you guys have in your bike program?
Right now, there's 2 of us. Before I worked for the city of Scottsdale, I was with Maricopa County. I also helped form the Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists. So I'm an advocate that is working for the city, and we also have advocates on our city council and on our transportation commission. So we've truly integrated bicycling.
That's fantastic. Do you guys have anything in the future, any programs, anything coming up that you'd like to promote?
Oh, not really, because we don't do events.
Yeah.
Although I was listening to your earlier caller, we have an event that we do once a year. I just said we didn't do events. We do one event called Cycle the Arts, which is a bicycle ride of public art installations in and around the downtown Scottsdale area.
That's awesome. When does that happen?
That's usually in April.
Okay. Is there any groups in Scottsdale, if I'm listening, are there any groups or any places that I can go where I can join an advocacy program or help out, volunteer with you guys?
I would look into the Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists. They're a statewide bicycle advocacy group. Again, I was one of their founding members a number of years ago, and I work very closely with them. Arizona Bicycle Club is both an advocacy and a ride organization. But if you're just interested in advocacy, I would look to the Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists.
The Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists.
Right.
Okay. And is there any place that we can go to get in touch with you? Let's say we find a pothole, or there's been a sinkhole and we need to repaint the bike lane or get it patched up.
Sure. If you go to ScottsdaleAZ, that's ScottsdaleAZ.gov. If you want to get directly to me, click on the transportation link. If you just want to report a problem, we have a report a problem link right on our main homepage.
Okay.
So it's really easy. We don't really have too much of an issue with sinkholes.
Flash floods?
Flash floods can be an issue, especially, this time of year when we have pretty heavy rains. We get about 7 inches of rain a year, and we'll typically get a couple of inches of that in one storm. So
that's awesome.
Our main pathway system in the Indian Bend Wash floods.
Yep.
So, if there's water running in the wash, our path is closed. But for the most part, we have bike lanes on the streets running parallel to it. So we really try to build options here. I'm a commuter cyclist. I've been a commuter cyclist since, I think, 71. I prefer to ride on the street, but a lot of people prefer to ride on our path systems. And you can take our path system right into our downtown.
So are you seeing a big increase in the number of commuter cyclists there in Scottsdale?
Not a big increase. I think we're gradually seeing an increase as we get more and more facilities connected.
Right.
We didn't have the big jump last year when the gas prices went up because it went up at the time that our temperatures were about 110.
Oh, yeah.
So that has a tendency to moderate new cyclists.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't affect cyclists like me who ride all the time, but if you're brand new to cycling, when you look in the thermometer, it's going to be 113. You go, maybe tomorrow. But I think, overall we are seeing an increase, and again, we're building bike lanes on Indian School right now, which is going to it's a main east-west arterial street. It runs right through our downtown. So we're really trying to make it easier for people to get around.
Well, Reed, I appreciate you calling in today. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I wish you the best in Scottsdale. Our studio just got inundated with a flood of folks who are twittering and texting away here. So there's a lot of activity. I'm gonna have to let you go, but
okay.
I would love to hear about what happens with Scottsdale in the future, and we hope that you can keep us posted.
Give me a call anytime.
Thank you so much, Reed.
You bet, sir. Bye.
I'll talk to you soon. On that note, we are back here in the studio. We have Jeff Miller with the Alliance for Biking and Walking. We have Mikey Wally, the local blogger. We've got folks from Spain, from Tokyo, Jackie Phelan, the phenomenal mountain bike rider who organized the Women's Mountain Bike and Tea Society, and I believe also in the Mountain Bike Hall of Fame. Is that right? Yep. Oh, well, I can't believe it here. So let's start out. I think everyone's here to help promote the Bicycle Film Festival, and I'm going to start here with Jeff Miller. Jeff, Alliance for Biking and Walking. Is that correct? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, Alliance for Biking and Walking is a national coalition. It's a North American coalition of all the state and local bicycle and pedestrian coalitions. So the Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists that your recent guest was just talking about is a member organization of the Alliance. We're the grassroots organizations across North America working to make communities better places to bike and walk. And so all these folks here were riding cross-country on the 42 ride, and part of their mission was to help benefit the Alliance and the work we're doing on the grassroots level. And they've just done a phenomenal job. We're just really grateful for their support and promoting obviously 42 Below, promoting the Bicycle Film Festival, promoting the Alliance, and having a heck of a good time along the way, it seems. So I'll tell you just very quickly. This morning, coming out of the hotel, I got in the wee hours, and these guys have been on their bikes pretty much for the last 55 days. And there's a group of 10 of them going out for a ride this morning because we only have a 14-mile ride into the very end of the ride tonight, and they're going out for a ride.
That's
it's like
awesome.
They could take a day off, and there they are riding. So pretty impressive.
Well, Jeff, I want to talk to you about the Alliance for Biking
Sure.
and Walking. I know you got a lot of press last year. You gave away about $175,000 in grants. Is that right?
This spring we gave $125,000 away. We're going to be giving another $100,000 away. We actually are giving. It's going to be a total of close to $300,000 this year. We've been funded in part by 42 Below, by SRAM, Bikes Belong and Planet Bike. And so we're giving grants to help startup organizations in states and cities where we don't have a voice for bicycling and walking. And we're also giving grants to help with innovative projects among some of the existing organizations around the country.
Now, some of the organizations that you support, like I know that you do work with WABA, Washington Area Bicyclists Association. You guys are based in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, do you guys get any money from the government?
We have a relatively small contract with the Centers for Disease Control on a benchmarking report that basically measures what federal dollars there are being spent on biking and walking, on what the numbers of bicyclists and walkers are, what the crash rates. There hasn't been any really good collective data on bicycling and walking, so that's something we hear from all of our advocacy leaders around the country is we need data to be able to make the arguments. So the Alliance led that charge starting in 2004. We pulled all that together. We published our first benchmarking report in 2007. We have another one that's going to be due out in about 5 or 6 months.
That's awesome. What about Safe Routes to School, any of those things? Do you guys work hand in hand with any of the other programs based in
we work
DC?
very close partnership with all the national organizations, whether it's the League of American Bicyclists, Rails to Trails. We're part of the board of America Bikes, which is the national movement to get the transportation bill, to have major funding for biking and walking. I actually just flew down last night from Portland, where I've been at the Safe Routes to School national conference. For Safe Routes to School. We had about 535 folks from all over the country there. It's phenomenal. And a lot of our local organizations are leading the charge on that.
That's fantastic.
And actually, Safe Routes to School is a classic example of what the Alliance is really about. A lot of bicycling, ultimately happens at the local level. The Alliance, is a national coalition, but really our work is to help support the local organizations. And that's part of the purpose of these advocacy advance grants that we're doing to help support innovative ideas. Is Safe Routes to School is a classic example. Started in Marin County with the Marin County Bicycle Coalition, and has now swept the nation and become quite a great movement. Complete Streets, another thing. These are all great ideas that are incubated at the local level, and through the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears of these advocates really make a huge difference in their communities.
Now I'm listening from Portsmouth, Virginia. I'm starting a local coalition in Portsmouth, Virginia. I want to figure out what I can do to get on the map. How do I get in touch with you guys?
Well, the first thing, so our website, which is a fantastic resource for advocates, no matter what level you're working at, that's at peoplepoweredmovement.org. And so, first of all, what you could do there, if you did want to go to Arizona and get plugged in to find out about stuff, or you're in Virginia, you're anywhere in the country, go to peoplepoweredmovement.org. You click on our members button, and it comes up with a list of the entire North American continent. You click onto that state or province, and up comes a list of the existing organizations there are. So you could find out, for example, in Virginia, there's WABA, the Washington Area Bicyclist Association. There's Bike Walk Virginia. There's the Virginia Bicycle Federation. Who's doing what? How do they partner together? Which are ones that are aligned with your particular interests? We always encourage people to plug in with existing organizations where they do exist. But in the instances of, say, Tennessee or South Dakota or Nevada, where there isn't a voice for bicyclists, then we work with them to help create an organization. I was just in Tennessee the beginning of this month holding facilitating the founders meeting for Bike Walk Tennessee. We had 23 cyclists primarily, also a few pedestrian advocates, literally from tip to tip of Tennessee, and they've already incorporated. They're on their way. They're doing some great work, and so the Alliance really is a resource no matter what area, whether you're in the very beginning stages of forming an organization or you're already rocking and you want to share, good examples of your innovation or best practices with other advocates around the country.
That's fantastic. And once again, you are supported mostly by bicycle companies.
Yeah, about 85% of our funding comes from the bike industry. We're really looking to expand that because obviously we're also into pedestrian stuff. And so that's, an example here where 42 Below's support is fantastic. The more that we can mainstream bicycling, we don't want to just be this little bike club. We really want to get this to be a culture changer. And so I think one of the things that's been very exciting to me and where we were really happy to partner with 42 Below is, just hitting a whole new market. And that's just fantastic.
Well, speaking of that, I'd like to go ahead and switch the mic over here to Mikey Wally. Mike, we're going to talk about how successful this venture has been. Have you guys gotten a lot of press? You guys have just finished coming across country. And would you care to introduce yourself here?
Mikey Wally. I live and work in Los Angeles.
So, Mikey, you brought a ton of people in here with you today. What are we looking at here? Can you maybe give us a brief description of who we have here?
We've got Jackie Phelan, mountain bike legend, Hall of Famer, Wombat, Tea Society.
Leisure consultant.
Leisure consultant.
Iron Crotch.
And okay, so that's on your right. On your left, I'm looking at 5 more people.
We got Joe. He's from Paris, England, and Spain. Spain originally, right? And producer of BFF Paris, epic polo player, messenger. Is that it?
That's about it. Yeah.
Cool. I don't even know this guy. he wasn't on my route.
Matt Grant. I was on the Southern route. I'm the only Southern router here on the tour. From Seattle. Love biking. Super humble.
Okay, before
And Georgie's
from Tokyo. Georgie, I'll hand you the mic in just a second here, and I want to come back to you too, Joe. But Mikey, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. What happened? There were 2 tours. What's going on with this?
Yeah, so the premise is 42 below, and you have 42 riders, and then they had a north and a south route, 21 riders on each ride.
Now, this route started in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were following the Bicycle Film Festival, sort of.
A little bit.
Was it successful? What was the turnout like? Did you get a lot of press or any?
If you're measuring success based on how many people came to our events, I don't know if it's that successful, but if you measure success in how much fun we had, and how amazing the experience was, and just seeing different bicycle cultures in different cities and how everybody does their thing, and meeting new people, and just being on the road and seeing the country, it was absolutely amazing. So
Now, a lot of times I find that the best kind of promotion is person to person, and then they're going to go and tell 10 of their friends. So, did you guys meet a lot of people along your ride?
Oh, every single day.
Yeah.
Absolutely every single day. You'd stop and eat pie and have coffee, or get lost in a corn maze, or go to the beach, or go to a local bike shop, and people would trade jerseys, and just people would always ask us what we're doing, and it was nice to have a wide spectrum of people. It wasn't just cyclists talking to cyclists, but just the fact that you have a bunch of strange looking people with funny tan lines walking into a grocery store.
Right.
You get a lot of just, what are you guys doing?
Right.
And you tell them you're riding your bike, and then they freak out for a second, and then it's cool.
So, you guys did a southern route, I take it.
We did the north, and
Matt did the south. Okay, what was the northern route? Did you guys follow the Adventure Cycling Association route, or did you make your own? No. Jackie, it looks like you got something to say here.
Some intern at some agency created a list from Google Maps, and we followed the freeways until some folks woke up and had it be use iPods and try to find safer routes.
Yeah.
It was a hash, but we managed to make it work.
Yeah.
It just the planning was puzzling.
Yeah. So how many days were you out there on the road?
60.
50, 53, 54.
No.
54? 58.
54.
Yeah, come on, you guys. We were out for 2 months.
Okay.
We managed to snake a couple of free days here, and there. If you got sick, you could take a rest.
Oh, yeah.
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 But I think that the huge payoff has been the interpersonal friendships and some great ideas to do a better job next year in case Daggernaught and Javelin, who are the ad agency and PR firm in charge of creating this concept ride,
Yeah.
if they want to make it better next year.
If they want to make it better. Okay, that's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about some of the cities that you went through on the northern route. Did you do any?
Kansas City, Missouri is incredible. I had no idea how cool Kansas City is. It's a big art town. It's a big bike town.
Word KC.
Acme Bike Works is the hub of all that activity, and it turns out I've been pen pals with Sarah Gibson for 20 years and didn't even realize I was going to get to meet her by accident. It was awesome.
That's fantastic.
Provo, Utah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Salt Lake City was big.
Salt Lake City. I'm here from Joe. So okay, Matt.
Yep.
Northern route. Southern route. I'm gonna screw them all. I'm screwing them all up here. But Matt from Seattle, you did the Southern route.
Yeah. We had a fantastic time. We went south after we split up with these guys in Philadelphia, we went south to Atlanta, across up to Oklahoma City, then down to San Antonio, El Paso, through New Mexico, San Diego, and then up to L.A. That's the basic route. We had about the same experience. Like, just the interpersonal experiences were awesome. Like meeting people in bike shops and just riding with people. It was a tremendous experience.
Any standout cities that you'd like to talk about?
For me, I think we all agreed that Little Rock, Arkansas, was an awesome city.
Really?
Tucson treated us amazing.
Yeah.
Really, like, what we saw in our events was this cumulative growth. Like, down the East Coast, they were so-so. When we hit Texas, we had some reps there that were just amazing. And so our events in Texas, like down the whole tour to Texas that we had on the Southern Route,
right.
2.5 weeks in that enormous
it's a
mean
big
state
yes.
was, we had a great time. When we hit Tucson, we had an amazing time, and it just kind of snowballed for us.
So did either of your groups have anybody that just came on along for the ride, or?
We had well, we met this guy in Reno, Joe. I suppose he's not listening, but we just went to this coffee shop called The Hub, and it was just a really cool place, like bicycle-oriented kind of thing. And he just hung out with us for a while, and then he ended up coming along with us for the next ride. But unfortunately, his bike broke like the second day, so he couldn't ride, so he had to be in the van, and he went home the last day. Yeah. And there was also Becca, who's friends with one of the girls on our group. She did Bike and Build last year, I think, which is another ride. And she came along as well with us for the rest of the ride for like the last week. Yeah, from California. Yeah.
So let's go to Tokyo. Tokyo.
Wow, Tokyo. Hi, Tokyo.
Live from Tokyo. There's your name again is
Georgie.
Georgie from Tokyo.
Georgie from Tokyo. Hi.
So which route did you do? You did the northern route as well?
Northern route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is my first US. Everything is really huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, hamburger, big.
Yeah.
Juice, big. Grand. Holy shit, everything. I can see everything.
Yeah.
Just sand.
Yeah. People?
Desert. Oh, no people in Nevada. Nevada.
Yeah.
Nevada.
Nevada.
Nevada, yeah. No people, no animal, no house. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 80-mile ride. We can reach some town, Eureka, or now, what was that? Austin, Eureka.
Austin, yeah.
To small town.
Yeah.
Like just ghost town.
Yeah.
But really, people is so nice. And bar is so nice. Good beer. I have. Yeah. No, 42 vodka.
42 below vodka. Speaking of that, we've got Adrian in the house here from New Zealand. Adrian, would you care to tell us a little bit about 42 below's part in this?
G'day. Or kia ora is what we say in New Zealand. The All Blacks played last night and they did a fantastic job against the Australian Wallabies in the rugby, which you guys probably know nothing about, but well done All Blacks. Yeah. So 42 below, as we know, it's a vodka from New Zealand, which is a beautiful little city just across the Pacific. It's just a little flight. It's about 12 hours. You could probably ride it on a boat somehow, and it'll probably take you 60 days. So maybe we do that next year. We're going to get a flotilla of ferries, and we'll just line them up one after the other, all the way down to New Zealand. That'd be a bloody great idea. Why not?
The support boat.
So 42 below, delicious vodka from New Zealand. We were so happy to be involved in such a ride. I've heard some feedback from some of the riders. I was in San Diego. It's been tough.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of threw this together. We're like, we want to be involved with something fun. We want to do something cool. How do we make this work? And Javelin have been fantastic, but we've had a few little kinks throughout the route, and I think we're going to really fix it up next year.
Awesome.
So next year, I'm pretty sure this is going to happen.
Okay.
So if you got some listeners out there keen, we're going to put that request out early on and see what we can find.
Well, it sounds like it's been amazing this year. You guys have, in support of this, you guys have also been doing gold sprints across the country. Would you care to tell us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, we've run gold sprints across, feels like 40 markets across the nation. And just to bring a bit of activity to the bars that people haven't seen before, and get people on bikes racing, seeing how fun it can be. A lot of people kind of throw bikes away after their childhood, but it's one of the best ways to get around. So putting this into bars, getting people interacting, shows that it's a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah,
the way I had it described, instead of going to a bar and riding a bull, go to a bar and beat your buddy on a bicycle. There you go. Yeah. So,
and, riding is just so Kiwi as well. New Zealanders love to ride bikes. New Zealand's one of the most beautiful places to ride bikes. I've been fortunate. I rode bikes all the time, but it's a great association. The freedom of spirit, the purity of riding, and just letting your muscles and your body do all the work for you. No gas guzzling, just powering down some water and some Gatorade.
So locally, I know that 42 Below is going to sponsor Gold Sprint Series locally. Do we have any place that we can find out about that?
Kinda.
Okay.
I think we're going to try and utilise some blogs in LA to blog out where the Gold Sprint's going to happen. If you want to rock up today at Orange 20, we're going to be Gold Sprinting there from 6 till 8. We're going to be going crazy.
That sounds fantastic. I do know if you're the Bicycle Film Festival, we're planning on bringing some Gold Sprints out there to the after party on Friday, which is going to be at Charlie O's. I think it's the corner of 5th and Spring.
I like it.
Yeah, so it should be fun. It's going to be the start. If you own a bar, you're interested in hosting a Gold Sprint event at the bar, get in touch with us at Orange 20 Bikes. Just ask for Jim C, and we'll be able to hook you up, I think.
Sounds sweet.
So, Adrian, thanks a lot for 42 Below's involvement in this. What is going on today? Do you know what's happening?
I think we're going to go a little crazy. At Orange 20, we have a welcome party, or the final party for these riders. These guys deserve like a bottle of vodka just poured over them and rubbed and massaged into them. Vodka has this ability to, cleanse the mind, body, and soul. It's such a pure spirit, especially with water from New Zealand. So, if there's any masseuses out there want to try something new, bring it on.
Come on by.
Let's get real here. We're doing a party for these guys, 6 till 8 at Orange 20. Melrose Ave.
Melrose, and it's at the corner of Melrose and Heliotrope. It's one light west of Vermont, 4351 Melrose.
Yeah, we've got some great 42 Below cocktails coming out. We've got Gold Sprints. We're going to throw in some fun tunes and just really celebrate what these guys have done.
Sounds fantastic. Okay, I'd like to bring it back to Jackie Phelan here real quick. Oh, okay. I'm just found out here that Georgie's girlfriend's in the house too.
She's very pretty.
Yes, she is. Did you do the ride as well?
No.
Today. she did the ride today. Yeah, so came along the last 14 miles. Jackie, I'm going to bring this over to you now. I've got a flyer here for the Attack of the Killer Bats.
That's a little postcard, a spoof of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and all the wombats, these pudgy green things, are crushing the traffic. It's a fantasy I've always had that bikes would someday prevail, kind of like the way certain animals that have lasted forever and ever will outlast everything else technological, and bikes really are the ultimate. No, I don't think of them as cockroaches, but they're like bikes were the ultimate technology 150 years ago. People hated them. Piano makers, hat makers, Sunday, like preachers. Everybody was down on the bike because it was taking away their business. But it was the beginning of the whole mass marketing thing in the 1880s. And if we could only imagine how huge they were, and get them back to being that huge, and also figure out how to get the bike industry to want women as much as they did back in 1880. Because back then they had to dissolve Victorian resistance to gender roles in order to get women on bikes. And so that meant taking out ads in pulp fiction magazines that were just beginning.
Right.
So they could double their market. Nowadays, women are begging the industry to take them seriously. It's a hilarious reversal.
Reversal of roles.
So anyway, that's where Wombats sort of came from, is like take back this original liberating machine that set us free. We got the vote with it. We got rid of the stupid clothing with it. got out of the laundry room.
Really did a lot for women's liberation.
And public health in general. I mean, I think when mom's happy, the whole family's happy. So you get her on a bike.
Tell them the Susan B. Anthony quote.
Right. Susan B. Anthony, I think, said that she's never seen anything more like the picture of untrammeled feminine beauty is a woman on a bicycle. I'm sorry, I'm going to hatchet it, but... No,
I just remember the comment being that the bicycle was the most important tool in the women's liberation movement.
Right.
And getting women to vote. And as you said, the bloomers were the start of women being able to wear things other than dresses.
What I'd like to know is how we can cause the car culture to die an ugly death. Because I'm really more interested in dismantling the myth that a car is your identity. And how can you do that when we are a wholly owned subsidiary of General Motors?
Right. Yeah. No.
Our country is just on sale.
So what we have to do is we've got to get a better lobbyer than they have. So we need to pool our money. We need to lobby.
I think that art is more subversive at cheaper cost than any of the advertising and the lobbying that General Motors and Dow Chemical all do. But I unfortunately don't have the horsepower because I'm a kind of a wimp. In terms of ability to organize?
I'm going to interject if I could real quick and just say, on the positive side, bicycling is all things good. We're facing a health epidemic in our country where nearly 70% of the U.S. population is sedentary. We're looking at the first generation of kids who aren't going to live as long as their parents. It's like a change in human evolution.
Right, but that's success for business. Don't you understand?
No. But bicycling, it's about health. It's about fun and freedom. It's the way we're going to save the environment. I mean, everything. There's so many great ways that people plug into cycling, and I think that's one of the great things about the movement. And so even though we're a pretty small lobby compared to GM or any of these other guys, we're all united under America Bikes. We're totally kicking butt. I mean, Safe Routes to School didn't even exist except for in Marin County 10 years ago. Now it's a $650 million project, and we're going after $6 billion in the next transportation bill.
Right.
We've seen communities transform. I just came from Portland, where now bicycling is 10% of the mode share, and they're not anywhere near satisfied. They're going after concentrating development in European style designs in the Northeast Quadrant, where they're looking for 35% mode share. And so when you think about where we've come just in the last 5-10 years, it's very, very hopeful. And getting people engaged in the movement is awesome, and it's all about getting plugged in with your local organization. Los Angeles County Bike Coalition, Cycle. Go to the Alliance's website at peoplepowermovement.org and find who your local organization is. Get into it, make it happen, because that's really how we're going to do it. Because all of us together as cyclists and realizing where we have fun and where it inspires us, that's how we're going to change this culture so that we don't drive ourselves into extinction.
I don't know. I'd like to see some top-down stuff. I want to see Obama on a bike more,
Absolutely.
And I definitely never have the mistakes that we've made in the past where bikes aren't treated like parts of transportation. This is probably not the easiest place to take on this kind of massive topic, but Europe, there's no fighting and begging to have money funneled into public health things because they have public health programs and national health plans, so it's against their best interest to have fat people. Here, it's in the interest of business to have fat people.
Yes, right.
How do you change that?
Well, it goes from health systems, transportation systems. It's all of these different systems that have to get together and align themselves in the stars for bicycles. And I think that we are starting to see it, but I think we are still a long way away, and we still need people's help. We need everybody's help. We need people in the middle of the country. We need folks that you guys were in touch with along your ride to stand up and be counted and say, listen, we want the infrastructure developed so that we can have this. So
right. It shouldn't be so hard to be healthy, and
no,
it shouldn't be illegal to have nonprofit or I don't know. I'm getting all. I don't even know how to finish my sentence.
When it comes to politics, it's a slippery slope, and I can definitely end up burying myself in a gutter underneath my own words. So,
right. Profit-oriented healthcare is a oxymoron, and one hopes that we'll outlive that, but who who knows? Can I just give this to Mikey Wally so he can make some sweet music?
I want you to tell me about
You guys are a bunch
wombats,
of communists.
Okay, wombat.
Hippies.
What about wombats? Women's Mountain Bike and Tea Society is
Yes.
it was a way to monkey wrench the patriarchal mountain bike world. Just
Yep.
like if you throw tea in there, the guys will run for the exit.
How long
Except
have you
in
been
Scotland,
doing this?
22 years.
22 years. And so,
But it needs help desperately because I'm tired and I'm allergic to planning myself. So the club could really use. Hey, in the 90s it was huge. We had 900 members.
Yeah.
Now we're down to like 9. But there's lots of women's clubs with clever names. None are cleverer than Wombats, though.
what does Wombat stand for?
Women's Mountain Bike ampersand Tea Society. The T stands for time. Let T equal time. It's
Yeah.
a simple equation. Time is better pay than cash. I
Right.
believe that time is the ultimate thing to have in excess, and I've made sure to do that in my life.
Oh, I agree with you there, 100%.
Never bought a car, never supported a car company. Finally, a friend made me get a car, and so they bought it. But they can't make me drive it.
So they're everywhere. Attack of the Killer Bats in 3D. You guys have been doing this for 22 years.
Mm-hmm. And if you go to the website, you'll learn all about the history of it. I have tied in.
The website is
wombats.org.
wombats.org.
Yeah, and if you're feeling a little uppity, you might just purchase a T-shirt or a cute little badge that says "Live Long and Perspire." I mean, I definitely have done everything except the decoder ring, and men are welcome. I would never forbid men to be part of Wombats because that would be sexist, and I don't want to be sexist. So, yeah, and guys love tea, and especially in England and Scotland, instead of stampeding away, they come swarming towards us. Tea? Hot tea? Oh, yum. So anyway, but the tea is just like, it was a little funny thing, you know, like if you take time for tea, then you can't be in a rush and you're not taking things seriously. It's for fun and time, and it's good for you. Tea is incredible. Tea is very, very deep.
Well, on that note, Attack of the Killer Bats. It kind of looks like a movie placard, and you guys are arriving just in time here for the Bicycle Film Festival. So I saw, Georgie, was it you who had the Bicycle Film Festival flyer just a second ago here? Oh, here we go. So we are looking at the 28th and 29th. The Bicycle Film Festival is going to be here in Los Angeles, with events happening the 26th, the 27th, the Joyride Art Show, also going to be on Melrose, 4316 Melrose Avenue, and we have downtown at the Downtown Independent. It's at 2nd and Main Street is where we're going to be showing all of the programs from the Bicycle Film Festival. Has anybody seen this yet? I've got some nods, some. Let's see, Joe. What do you think about the program this year?
Well, I went to New York because that was just before our trip.
Yep.
And I was there the whole week. I was helping out. And it's brilliant. It's a really good program this year. Some amazing films.
Yep.
Yeah.
This year we do have a smaller venue than we've had in the past. I've seen some of the write-ups on these. We've got everything from Where You Go, or Ride Across Africa, to I Love My Bicycle, the story of FBM BMX bikes, which is supposed to be absolutely amazing, and Anima da Acasio, The Soul of Steel, with a portrait of Giovanni Pelazzoli, also known as the Choke.
Yeah.
Choke. So definitely some interesting films here, and I know that we are down to a 220-seat theater. So if you're interested in buying tickets, if you're interested in seeing any of this, I would definitely suggest getting tickets in advance. And I think you can do that at the bicyclefilmfestival.com.
Somebody from the ride too, Chris Thorman. He did Empire with Luke Stiles in New York, and I guess the trailer is different than the one that's on the internet or something. So he's saying to go to it. It's pretty cool, and that's one of the riders on the South Route, Chris.
Empire from a rider on the South Route, and I don't even see this one on here, but
Program 6.
Yeah, it is.
Program 6.
Program 6.
So, do you guys have any plans now that you're here in Los Angeles?
Open to suggestions.
Open to suggestions is what I'm hearing. Okay, fish tacos is another thing that I'm hearing. We'll definitely get you set in the right direction here. Georgie, how long are you going to be here? You flying back to Tokyo anytime soon?
more 3 days,
Yep,
maybe.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I understand you know a friend of ours, a guy named Akira.
Makira?
Akira
Akira, you know Akira?
from Kinfolk.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he knew that you were coming into town. He said he's sorry that he missed you. So
Yeah, he's really drinking always.
very true. Well, he definitely would have gone well with the 42 below. Yes, he you know, when he got here, he had a 1 beer tolerance. He could only drink 1 or 2 beers and then he'd pass out. But now, whoa! I think we sent him back to Tokyo and he drinks like a fish these days. So, yeah. Well, he's.
knows Amanda too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
know Amanda Sutton from
Yeah.
Orange 20. Yep.
She came last year.
Yep. Yeah, to Tokyo. And I understand Tokyo this year is also going to be hosting the Cycle Messenger World Championships.
Yeah.
And that's
She's staff.
Oh, you're staff. All right. So that's I'm going to be out there for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and playing around, doing the ride from Kyoto to Tokyo.
Yeah, you do?
Yep. Yep.
Really? I wait you at Kyoto.
Okay, we're going to race in Kyoto.
Yeah, I go to Kyoto and maybe I do the beer bomb championship.
Yep. That
Beer bomb.
beer bong championship. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to explain that, Georgie, because I don't think anyone knows what
I
the
did
beer
last
bomb.
year.
He organizes it, and
Beer bong
So what is the beer bong championship?
Beer bomb championship is right. What?
Okay.
Gesture.
Gesture. So basically, it looks like there's a tube, and it's literally a beer bong, I guess, and a funnel, and so it really is what it sounds like. It's a beer bong race.
Yeah.
Did you win it last year?
I did organize at the Kyoto local.
Yeah, but you didn't win.
no, he organized it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't allowed to. You're not allowed to participate if you organize.
I drink too much.
So how's the beer in Japan?
More than,
How's the beer in Japan? Is it good?
yes.
Okay, all right. So that's something we're looking forward to with the Messenger World Championships in Kyoto Loco is the beer bong championship sponsored by Georgie.
You have to come.
Okay, yep. So
Everyone waiting, the bicycle people from America.
yeah,
Yeah.
there are going to be a ton of us. So
This time, CMWC very awesome because government supporting.
are they really?
Yeah, really.
So you guys are getting a closed course in Tokyo, is that right?
Yeah, Tokyo. But little Tokyo.
In little Tokyo.
Odaiba. Too difficult for me English.
Okay.
So sorry.
You're doing that. It's fantastic. So we're definitely looking forward to it. Thank you guys for helping to organize it. That's going to be awesome. So, and for those 2 weeks, I will be out of town. So you will have another guest host at that point. So, all right, Matt.
Yeah.
How much longer are you in Los Angeles for?
Wednesday. I take
Also till Wednesday.
Yeah.
So can you describe for me a little bit how this ride went for you? Was it something that you were, I heard different rumors about how this was working. Did you guys get sponsored to do this? Did you guys get a stipend? How did this work?
Well, it worked a little bit differently for the domestic people as opposed to the international people. And being domestic, I'll speak from that perspective. And
Right.
even that worked a little bit differently person to person, apparently.
Yeah.
But the overall structure was that we were sponsored to do this ride, 42 Below, in conjunction with Javelin and Dagger Knot and the Alliance for Biking Walking. They all organized some sort of sponsorship for us. So we all had jerseys. We rode pretty much basically together. We're paid, and then we had per diems for our living expenses. So they took care of everything for us virtually. We just had to supply the bike and the willpower to cross the country.
Right. Was that ever difficult? How much rain did you guys see?
Oh, well, Southern Route, we didn't see a whole lot of rain. We saw an incredible storm in Atlanta that, flash floods in downtown Atlanta where water was deep as our bottom brackets on some of the roads. That was probably the most rain we saw the entire tour. And then on the Southern Route, we hit a lot of high desert, arid environments where temperatures were 115 and we were doing between 50 and 80 miles a day, sometimes hundreds. So it was pretty intense.
Were you I heard mention of a van with the Northern Route guys. Were you guys supported?
Yeah, we
on
were
the
fully
Southern
supported
Route?
the whole
Yeah.
way, which was another blessing.
Yeah.
I don't know that diminishes the accomplishment at all. I know that there's a lot of hardcore people that do it totally supported all the way, and they are totally righteous. But for us, we had an incredible gift of having support the whole way. So 2 support vans supplying us with water at different way stops, and then a straight truck that carried all of our camping business or our luggage and junk like that.
Were you guys required to drink a certain amount of 42 below each day?
Not on a daily basis. I think we were, and I don't know that nobody ever required me to drink a certain amount, and I think that but I tried. Yeah, I think everybody put in their best effort to drink as much as possible when it was provided.
Bunch of campfire challenges.
Yeah, there was a lot of alcohol consumption. So. It was pretty great. You wouldn't think that was an energy drink, but apparently it is. One of the purest forms of dehydrating yourself and then forcing you to rehydrate yourself.
All right,
yeah.
Joe.
Yep.
Joe, you're here as the Paris organizer for the Bicycle Film Festival.
Yep.
And how about along the Northern Route? How was the weather? How were the people?
The people were great, and the weather was. It was great as well, actually, because we've had maybe 1 or 2 hot days the whole trip. Every other day was actually, we have few really cold days. Like we were wearing winter gear for the first few hours because it was freezing cold. And we've had at least 3 hailstorms. That was, the first one was the scariest one because I've never seen anything like that before. And hills that
golf ball size.
Yeah, it was.
It was snowing like snowbanks.
Yeah, it was.
Snowbanks.
All of a sudden, it was just like winter, like being in Antarctica or somewhere. It was just crazy.
For those that can't hear Mikey Wally, they were in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And he's talking about snowbanks, and they're all showing me golf ball sized holes in their hands.
Yeah.
So drifts of hail, pretty amazing. So
and we got rescued by a woman who didn't even know that we were there, but that was pretty cool. And then our magical van driver Matt came and took us away from the hill. That was pretty cool.
So were you guys camping a lot of the way, or was it?
Yeah, we were staying in hotels and motels, but yeah, we camped a lot as well. Some of the campsites we've been to, they were just just ground basically. There wasn't anything.
Right.
Where was it? It's in Nebraska as well. The Starvation State Park.
Starvation.
There was
State
nothing
Park?
there.
Oh,
No.
man.
Yeah, Utah. That's it. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah.
2 juniper trees and a giant reservoir. What we're hearing about Starvation Point. So,
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So,
Tell them what you're doing next.
Oh yeah. We decided we love this thing so much that we're actually going to keep going.
Yeah.
But there were originally 4 of us who decided to do this. I think it's only going to be 2 of us now, because we were hoping to get sponsored by the same people, but don't think that's going to happen. So we're just going to keep going, self-supported around the world.
that's awesome.
Starting just heading south and see where we get to.
You're going to be around in Los Angeles for a little while?
Yeah, at least until Monday, maybe Tuesday, and then we're going to stay in San Francisco for a few days, and then come back to LA to start the ride again.
Bike back down?
Yeah, we haven't actually told anyone yet, so we're doing it now. Yeah,
That's fantastic. It's going to be a gorgeous ride riding around the world, I'm sure. So, I'm definitely envious of you. So, do you guys have any kind of time frame for this?
Not really. No, not at all.
Back for the film festival.
Yeah, next year. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, we haven't actually planned anything yet. This is gonna be just get on our bikes and go, basically, and see where we get to. And when we need to stop, we'll just stop and try to get a job and
we have
save
had
money to continue.
we have had some
I might have to
folks-
sign on for that too, man.
Well, you're welcome. It's just, it's one of those things that, this trip's been amazing in so many ways, but it's one of those things that, you're on your bike and it becomes a lifestyle kind of thing. And also it keeps you away from reality for a while. But then, like yesterday when we arrived, I was kind of back into the real world, and I was thinking, I don't really want to go back to to this thing. I just want to keep going.
Yeah, don't make me go back.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about relationships, the development of interpersonal relationships. Did anybody have anything that really changed themselves happen along the trip? Anything that was extremely personal? Any days where you were cursing God, or let's hear what happened.
Oh God, I don't know.
No names.
Well, he's puzzling about it. I just have to say, this ride is a journey about love. I think that people and bicycles are about love. And that love takes many forms. And the action of moving in some ways for humans is an act of loving oneself. Because if you're moving, you're doing what you're meant to do as an animal. Where if you're sitting still and playing on a computer, you're doing the opposite of what's good for you. You're yes, from the head up, you're actually working, but on the bike, you're moving all your muscles and you're breathing all that real air and seeing real world, not having anything be sim. It's the real deal. And so I've fell in love with 41 other people, and specifically with my group, with the 20 that I was riding with, and that's been magic,
Was there a point, Jackie, where you felt like your body just started working a lot better?
It's sort of on autopilot. I've had about 30 years of lots and lots of riding, and I gave myself every now and then a day off because I'm 54 and I deserve it.
Every once in a while.
But the bike is part of my body. It's the lower half. And so, I'm sort of on autopilot, and I can go into daydream mode, and I don't want to wake up, actually, too. But I have a wonderful husband to go back to and reality to face. So I'm not taking the option that Joe is doing and Caroline, but I'm going to try to figure out if I can put it into words.
Yeah. So
in a book.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. What did you do that got you into the Mountain Bike Hall of Fame? What started this for you?
I'm sure wombats, and also being a woman that beat most of the men in the very beginning of the sport when we were mass start. I would come in like an hour before the next woman, and I was riding a much better bike. And but mostly I think it was for dreaming up a whole terrain that was completely undeveloped for women that weren't interested in competing, didn't want to pin a number on, and just wanted to have fun on their bikes, and felt themselves excluded. And I thought, dude, just drape some fake pearls, sprinkle some cheap perfume, throw in a teapot and a teacup, and they're going to know what to do.
So that's with wombats. How long have you been riding mountain bikes?
Well, I rode my road bike on Mount Tam. I didn't have the right kind of bike. In fact, for my first appetite seminar, I just rode a Raleigh Sprite 5-speed from San Francisco to Fairfax. Saw them all piling bikes on a truck and went, "Why are you throwing the bikes in the truck?" And it's because they're 50-pound single speeds. Oh, because there's a hill. So I just rode up the hill and met them at the top, and then I did the ride. Then I rode home back to San Francisco on this Raleigh Girls Sprite. You don't actually need to have a mountain bike to ride off-road.
Right.
It's you can just look strange on a skinny tire bike, and you get much better at it because you don't have traction automatically. You have to find traction and earn it. So I love riding my road bike off-road. We had some off-road sections on this ride.
Yeah.
And I must say I'm in my element. I am in my element when the surface is sketchy. And that's also why I had no trouble with the general organization and stuff, because as my husband Charlie reminded me, you're at home when things are chaotic.
Yeah.
So, because I don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
I'm never sure whatever's going to happen because I'm a little scrambled. So it's been kind of neat to just be at home in the shifting sands of the 42 ride.
There's definitely a spark in your eye when you talk about it here, and I feel like the whole thing was an adventure that you definitely look at in a very positive light.
Oh, totally. It's one of the coolest things I've ever done. I've always wanted to cross the country. Getting to do it in the Obama administration is a bonus.
Yeah.
I sort of want my old country back.
Yeah.
I lost faith with Nixon, and I never really gained it back until Clinton, and then so now we just pray
Clinton's
that.
Whack.
We'll just talk about it later. He's a real statesman dude, and his wife wanted health care for everybody, so. But back to kill radio and the whole idea of killing corporate radio, which I love because you're across from a Clear Channel billboard.
Yes, indeed. You're listening to killradio.org. This is Bike Talk. You can always log on to our podcast and sign up for that. We are at kpfk.org as well. So, good old Pacifica Radio.
The first citizens band.
That is correct.
In our country.
Yeah. So, we are going to take a quick break here. We're going to go to a song called The Giant Bicycle by Tom Rosenthal. If you have any questions for any of our amazing guests, please give us a call. Our number here is 213-252-0998. We will be back in just a little bit. We will have Colin Bogart, local advocate with the Los Angeles County Bicycle Coalition, talking about how you can get involved with doing a local bicycle count. But for right now, Giant Bicycle, Tom Rosenthal. Thanks for listening.
The following is a dream that I had. Imagine a bike, a really big bicycle, sort of like a penny farthing, as tall as a house or perhaps like a small tree. And then imagine Richard out of Richard and Judy standing on Judy's head, and then on top of Richard's head, Prince Philip stood, and then on top of Prince Philip's head, there's a sort of young giraffe standing. It was about as tall as that. Then imagine a double-decker bus and being on the top deck and going right to the front where you can only see the road and you can't see what's behind you, you just see the road disappearing in front of you. That's the view that I had. So I could see everything really clearly, and it was a time when people ruled the streets like they did, say, 100 years ago, and there weren't many cars, and the street was like the place to be, and I was wobbling from side to side on this bike, sort of like a tightrope walker with really bad balance.
Welcome once again. We're back here at Bike Talk. Most everybody's on the way out of here. Let me see if I can grab Jeff. I'm going to try and grab Jeff Miller and see if I can get him to spontaneously, off the cuff, talk to me a little bit more about the Alliance for Biking and Walking. Alliance for Biking and Walking. We are supposed to be getting a call in here from Colin, so we will keep an ear out for that. But Colin is with the Los Angeles County Bicycle Coalition, and right now they are getting ready to do LA's first real bike count. The first number assigned to the number of cyclists that actually are here in Los Angeles. And we're not just talking about people commuting on the street. We're not just talking about recreational riders. We're also talking about workers, like grocery store, errands, school kids. So, yep, the whole nine. Jeff, Alliance for Biking and Walking, do you guys have any real numbers, any statistics on what that is like countrywide?
Well, we know, yeah, we got a bunch of disparate sources of data. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the Alliance for Biking and Walking publishes the benchmarking report, which is like a 100-plus page document that really tries to put it all together. There are and unfortunately the sources of data are somewhat weak in many cases. I mean, like census data just asks on one specific day, and it just asks specifically about journey to work. It doesn't ask about all other types of transportation, other modes you have taken. So these local efforts to get a metric, to find out how many people are biking on any given day, and then being able to carry that forward is really an awesome tool. And is something that's very helpful in other communities, where we've seen a doubling, a tripling of cyclists. Basic general stats, according, to what sources we do have, bicycling basically makes up about 1% of trips out there. Walking is closer to 12% of trips. Combined biking and walking is about 13%. And and some of this data is important too in like getting some of the funding so we can actually start changing and improving our communities. An example is our work to advocate for fair share for safety. Most of the public highway safety dollars go into drunk driving and seatbelt campaigns, and those are all good and important. But when we have 13% of the fatalities and traffic crashes involving bicyclists and pedestrians, we think that more than 1% of the funding should be spent.
It's interesting that you brought that up. I was reading a National Geographic article from 2004, and one of the things that they were talking about was rate of death, what the percentage is that you're going to die doing a certain activity, and with bicycling, they had it listed as 1 in something like 5,000. Then they went to motorcycle, 1 in 2,000. Then they went to pedestrian. The pedestrian deaths are higher than motorcycle deaths are, and I don't think that's something that people realize. Pedestrian deaths are huge.
Yeah, well, I mean, we look at how we've built most of our communities, and I think LA is sadly a classic example where we have, for the past 50 years, built our entire culture around the automobile at the total disregard of people. And when we think about what our communities are and what transportation is, it should be centered around people. And so, we've got an entire universe of educated engineers and so forth that their sole purpose has been to move cars faster. And when you move cars faster, you do it at the expense of people. And that's not just the people outside the cars walking. That's also the people inside the cars. We have 45,000 people a year that are killed in this country from traffic deaths. Many of those are passengers and drivers in automobiles. And as we hear screeching tires and honking outside, maybe something worse is happening out there. But we freak out when a plane goes down, and essentially we have a plane going down every single day on our roads. People just assume that it's perfectly fine or take on this risk. And one of the things I want to mention too is that with bicycling and walking, they're not risk-free, but the health benefits, the freedom benefits, the quality of life benefits, so far outweigh the risk. We know from statistics, we know from anecdotal evidence that most people are afraid to bike and walk because of perceptions around safety. And what unfortunately we're seeing now in this generation of children is parents are so afraid of letting their kids bike and walk that they're keeping them inside. They're plugging them into their TVs and computers, and so we have a generation of kids that are getting adult onset diabetes, type 2 diabetes, that used to only happen into very sedentary adults, and now we're seeing kids for the first time in very large numbers developing these chronic diseases.
Where are you from, Jeff?
I've lived the last 21 years in Maine. I just moved to Washington, D.C. 9 months ago to open up an office for the Alliance.
Yeah. And how long have you been working with the Alliance?
So, I was actually at the very first gathering of bicycle advocates at the Thunderhead Ranch in Wyoming. The Alliance for Biking and Walking, for those who don't know, we did used to be known as the Thunderhead Alliance because of that ranch we gathered at. So I've been a bike advocate since I'd say since '87 when I first asked for a mountain bike for a high school graduation present, rode cross country in 1990, and that's where I really saw the light of how the bicycle really is the answer to all the world's problems that we're facing.
Right.
And we just need to start changing our culture to do that. And I was also very fortunate to get to bike around the world on a Watson Fellowship and to study how bicycles are used in every other country, every other culture around the world, and how it's the United States who's so car-centric and unfortunately is also a role model for much of the rest of the world and how they're developing.
I want to talk a little bit about something that I only know a little bit about. So
sure.
We'll try and keep this fairly brief. But I know a couple of years ago there were a few pilot cities that were given major grants to improve their bicycling infrastructure, including Northern California. There was a city outside of San Francisco.
Yep.
And then I guess the largest one might have been St. Paul. Is that right?
Let's see. I'm trying to actually remember the cities. There are 4 pilot projects where essentially the federal government gave a pretty good chunk of money. So they gave $25 million to each of these 4 communities. As you mentioned, one was in California. One is Columbia, Missouri.
Right.
One in actually it's northern Wisconsin, Sheboygan, I believe it is. And I'm totally blanking on the 4th, and I'm very sorry for that.
I thought it was Minneapolis or...
No, there's I think it was more eastern than that. But in any case, so there's been a concentrated effort. Okay, here's $25 million. Let's see in these focused efforts what we can do to actually see a significant modal shift, so that we're seeing a dramatic increase in biking and walking, and what works and what doesn't work. And so that money was a bit late in getting flowing, so it's literally just been about 2 years. And as we know, with getting infrastructure improvements and changes, it takes a long time to get these things on the ground. So they are making progress. Columbia, Missouri has been where I've seen some of the best things coming out of. The Rails to Trails Conservancy has been leading an effort effort that they call the 20 by 10, where essentially they're working with about 40 communities across the country to look at like what $50 million would do, and they've been advocating for that in the larger transportation bill. We're not certain it's the best method because it's essentially going to be easily pick on as an earmark, if you will. But we are advocating for a substantial increase in funding for biking and walking, because we know that when you have the education and the encouragement programs, when you start building it, build they will come, and we're starting to see some real shifts in society where. Yeah, you still got the NIMBY action where people say, "Oh my God, don't build a bike path in my backyard. Those bicyclists are going to steal the television set and ride away with it." But the rails to trails or trails to whales, as we call it affectionately, and inevitably what always happens is these landowners right next door to where the trails are built will put a fence up because they're trying to keep out these dangerous cyclists who are going to cause crime, and within a year, a gate goes up.
Yeah.
In that fence, and they start using the trail. And then they realize that this is something that builds community. This is something that makes our community a safer place to live. This is something that improves their quality of life. It increases their home values. It makes community.
Well, to kind of paraphrase where I was going with the $25 million.
Yep.
Part of that was designed to figure out what kind of increase there would be in cycle ridership in these cities. And so a lot of this is going to be used as a tool to figure out what kind of return we get on our investments.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And so
it's still too early to tell in those four communities specifically, but what we don't need to wait to know because we have so many other models around the world and even within the United States, and it's not just Portland, Oregon gets picked on a lot. San Francisco has seen some incredible changes. The Twin Cities of St. Paul, Minneapolis has been remarkable, and Chicago and New York as of late. New York, Transportation Alternatives, our member organization there, has just been fighting the good fight for a really long time. Now they've actually gotten so far that there's several former employees of Transportation Alternatives who work now for Mayor Bloomberg in the Department of Transportation, and we're seeing some major changes on the ground where they're literally getting a doubling of cycling.
I've heard a lot of work has been going into New York City. That's pretty awesome.
It is very awesome.
So I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about New York and the Twin Cities, which you mentioned, because I know there have been some advances there. But right now, I've got our own Colin Bogart on the phone here.
Okay.
Colin, this is Jim. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Good morning. Hi, Jim.
I want to ask you a little bit about what you're doing with the LACVC right now and in Glendale and with the bicycle count.
Well, I'm working. The LACVC is working on a project in partnership with the city of Glendale on a project to improve conditions for bicyclists and pedestrians in the city of Glendale. It's part of a grant that we received from the LA County Department of Public Health. Mm-hmm. And our big push right now is we're getting ready to do the first ever bike and pedestrian count, I think, that Glendale's ever done.
That's awesome.
We're going to be doing that on Wednesday, September 16th, and Saturday, September 19th. And on Wednesday, we're looking to count pedestrians and cyclists during the morning commute, afternoon commute hours. And then on Saturday the 19th, we're going to be looking to count bicyclists and pedestrians in the morning, like roughly 10 to 12, so, with the idea that we're catching sort of more the recreational users. And we're basically... I'm in the process anyway of just trying to recruit volunteers for that, and we're also in the process of selecting the locations where we want to do the counts. The idea being that we want to pick these locations carefully because hopefully and ideally we will be repeating the count again next year, and then I'm looking to see that the city of Glendale continues to do those counts each year going into the future, so you can start to see patterns of usage and increases or decreases in certain places. And
are these counts going to be at places where you have proposed bicycle or pedestrian actions?
It's going to be a combination of locations. Some of the locations are definitely going to be places where we have proposed routes and existing routes. Glendale just painted new bike lanes on Glen Oaks, which is a major street going between Glendale and Burbank. So we're definitely planning on doing counts there, and we're planning on doing counts in places where bike routes are proposed. We're also going to use other criteria to determine locations, things like, we're going to look at crash data and find out if there's locations where we see a larger number of crashes involving bicyclists and pedestrians. So we'll go and do counts at those locations. We'd also take into consideration land use, things like where there are schools, where there are public facilities like post offices or libraries, and also shopping areas as well, and just try to get a better sense of, how many people are walking and biking and where they're doing it, essentially. And then that's for the city of Glendale, and then also the LA County Bike Coalition is doing a bike count in the city of LA as well, and that's going to be the following week. We're going to be doing bike counts on Tuesday, September 22nd, Wednesday the 23rd, and Saturday the 26th. And that's going to be a bigger effort. They're looking to do something like 50 locations throughout LA, and they need a lot. We need even more volunteers for that effort as well.
Colin, how can we get in touch with you?
Well, for the city of LA bike counts, the person who's coordinating the volunteers for that is Juliet Marshall, and her email is Juliet, Juliet, at la-bike.org.
Okay.
And then for anyone who's interested in doing the Glendale specific counts, they can contact me directly at Colin, Colin, at labike.org. Or if they want to call, my office number is 818-334-9731.
Okay. There's one more time here. Your office number, 818-334-9731. Okay. Or Colin at la-bike.org. And then Juliet is Juliet at la-bike.org. Or you can call the Bike Coalition office downtown at 213-629-2142. Okay, all right. We've got a little bit of excitement here in the studio. It appears that somebody just decided to run off with a few bikes from here. So, oh no! Oh yes. So we're gonna let you go, and we're gonna try and figure out what's going on here. Okay. All right. We will talk to you soon. All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. See you, Colin. Bye bye. Well, somebody has liberated the bicycles from outside of the BikeTalk office, so we're gonna actually end this a little bit early. I did want to talk a little bit with Jeff Miller about New York and about the Twin Cities, but I'm going to go straight into music and then try and go retrieve some bikes. So if you happen to see a bunch of people riding around on bikes that look a little too big for them right near Vermont and Melrose or Vermont and Beverly, go ahead, pull them over, give us a call. 213-252-0998. That's our number here at Bike Talk, 213-252-0998. You can always subscribe to our podcast, kpfk.org. And you can catch us live every Saturday, killradio.org, from 10 to noon. Right now we're going to go back to our bike playlist, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend. Till then, keep the rubber side down.